Welcome back to another video, everyone, and I wanted to talk about a franchise that does not get talked about as much. And with this new box set that came out over the past couple of years, I wanted to talk about the Fly franchise. It consists of 5 movies from 1958 to 1989. We have the original classic, which is one of the best horror movies from the 1950s, and then we have the David Cronenberg remake, which stars Jeff Goldblum, that most people know today. With that being said, let's dive into our first movie, which is the original The Fly from 1958. This film is easily one of the best horror movies / sci-fi movies from the 1950s. Directed by Kurt Newman, this movie stars Patricia Owens, Vincent Price, and many others. The basic gist is that a scientist is able to transfer matter through space through teleportation.
I'm Vincent Price. What unearthly horror did that girl gaze upon?
The main scientist's name is Andre, and we meet his wife, Helena. We also see that they have a son named Philippe. The kid actor does good, but he could be a little bit better. Anyways, Vincent Price is the brother of Andre. Let me introduce to you one of the coolest looking laboratories from the 1950s. Anyways, as I said before, we see that Andre is close to mastering teleportation. After testing it on a few animals, Andre decides to try it on himself, but a fly gets in the teleporter with him, and something is wrong.
All right now, I know it's worked!
We see that Andre has become half human, half fly. It's one of the best horror movie reveals, probably since Phantom of the Opera. Now, the effects aren't on par with the Cronenberg remake, but it's still very awesome for the time. So the rest of the movie is about them trying to catch the actual fly to put them back in the teleporter for everything to be normal. But we see that Philippe has a white-headed fly, and then he just lets it fly away. After many times of trying to get everything back to normal, and Andre just doesn't want to live anymore. So he starts destroying his own laboratory and then is crushed by his own hydraulic press. So it seems like Andre is dead, and that's it. But towards the end of the movie, we see Vincent Price and Philippe notice something in a spiderweb at the garden. It turns out to be the human form of Andre that was switched with the fly during the experiment. It's actually a pretty cool way to end the movie. But The Fly is one of the best horror sci-fi movies from the 1950s. And remember, stay tuned because we're going to be looking at each movie from the Fly franchise. The Fly is a great movie and I highly recommend this film. Definitely one of the best throughout the entire franchise. This is a big budget movie with great actors, filmed in CinemaScope. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, but stay tuned as we look at the rest of the franchise.